I'm Lawrence Okolie, and this is my story. Make sure you tune in on JD Undisputed. It's saucy. I grew up in Hackney. It was good because there's a lot of character building that goes on, whether that's through the right or wrong thing. But you know, you're never short on stuff to do. So if there's not a boxing gym, there's a lot of young people around to play around with. So it was fun, but there's also a lot of negatives which did help shape a lot of character.
When Lawrence was young, he was overweight, and he did, like in our area, in most places, like the thing to do is football. So every day, summer holiday, every day, weekends, we're playing football at the park in cages in our state. But he wasn't that good at football, so he didn't really, do you know what I mean, like it that much. Tried basketball, rugby, etc.
So I was just rubbish at everything, to be honest. But yeah, I was more of a try to do stuff. I don't know, see what girls and stuff like that. But girls never really liked me. It's just I had a weird childhood. It wasn't bad, but I just wasn't really all that popular when I think about it now. But what I mean, I'm popular now. But is it real? I don't know. We'll find out.
Boxing's the one where one day he just said randomly out of the blue he's gonna go boxing in the gym in Hoxton.
Boxing, that helped a lot with giving me a set pace and a set goal. So it's not just the hours that I'm in the gym, it's the goal. So I have to go for a run. So I need to make sure that I'm not tired from messing around on the streets. I went back to my school a couple of weeks ago, and they used me as an example in school, in sports, because I never excelled at any sports at any time. Like, I would be the type of person that would, if it's not football or something like that, I would leave my PE kit at home or whatever. So to go from that to being an Olympian, they show that. So I was never really a sporty kid. My earliest memory of boxing was going to the boxing gym. One of my friends was a boxer, and I tried all different sports and it wasn't working for me. He said, come down to the boxing gym, give it a go, it's a good way to lose weight. So I went down, and then I remember jumping on the scales. I was like 120 kilos, but I liked, the sound in the gym, like being told I had to do 10 push-ups, and there was no way I could escape it. And then from then I just kept going back, and then the weight started to fall off, and we started. My first coach is cool, like he was just a normal guy, and the thing about coaches, especially amateur ones, is that they're not getting paid. So they're doing it because they love the sport. He would do stuff like come to the gym at 5 a.m. And make us all come down to get an early session. He would take us to docks to do runs and stuff like that. So it was good because it was more than just in the gym. He tried to take it out into normal life. So he was good in that aspect.
It feels like yesterday, even though it was in 2009 and the years have passed by. I just remember seeing this big figure, tall figure, walking through the gym doors. The main thing, which I wanted to hear, which he said, was I wanted to learn to box, and I wanted to box, and he had a great interest in it.
There wasn't that many big egos there, so it was just a case of everyone gets treated the same. I remember you had to come a few times before the coach would commit to you, so otherwise you just had to show that you really wanted it.
Everything seemed to come into play with him. It weren't as if you had to keep telling him. It was like he was just like natural at certain things. The main factors that he already had was discipline and respect. Once the weight started falling off him, he just started to shine in every department.
My first one, it was in my boxing gym, but it's quite intense. So it's like everyone's right on top of the ring, one level, and I remember the guy box had a lot of people there because a lot of his fighters, a lot of people from his club were boxing on the same show. So it was packed with his guys. And I remember I only told 3, 4 people, my brother, and a couple of people. I didn't even tell my mum that I was gonna have the fight. They all told 2 people each, and then it became the hot news in school. I remember going there on Friday and everyone's like, oh, you're fighting tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. Before I knew it, it was filled up with people from my school and that.
He had his first fight. I went to watch with, a lot of us went to watch. He won, and he won in such good style for his first fight. And that was the first time I've ever seen him box, and I was like to him, right, you're actually really good.
I wasn't nervous, probably because I was naive, that makes sense, because I didn't really understand what could and can't happen in boxing. I just thought I was going to beat the guy.
When he gets in the ring, like, you're always going to be anxious and nervous. I don't know, it's a weird feeling because I'm not the one fighting, I'm not in the ring, but sometimes I don't even like being around him because I don't want him to pick up any like sort of anxiety or nervous energy, so sometimes I just stay away from him and let him do his thing.
We train about 3 times a week in the morning, but Lawrence trains every day. He does his strength conditioning every day. We've got to get ready for 12-round fights at the end of the day, so strength conditioning is very important. As a pro, if the opportunity is there to take someone out, you have to take them out. So that's what he's done, you know? But there's plenty more tricks to his book. As long as he stays focused, committed to the sport, he can go as far as he wants to. Highlight. I think the highlight to me was when he first started training with me, he fought Jamie Branch and he got beat by Jamie Branch, and no one gave him a chance of redeeming that. In the next year he broke his hand, so he couldn't do a full-on training camp for it. But the next year, well, that year Jamie Branch got to the final of the ABAs, and the next year he met Jamie Branch and he beat him. And that was like the highlight, because that was the start. That's when people started to recognise that this kid's got something.
Besides looking at myself in the mirror, these are the guys that I see the most, because a lot of them are involved in fitness, obviously being penny boys and that, and obviously they have an understanding and a love for boxers.
Right now, penny boys anyway, like, we're a group of friends, that's number one. But you take it further, it's like a fraternity or a brotherhood. Like, Henry's not my blood brother, Lawrence is not my blood brother, but he's my brother. Do you get what I'm saying? We hold that same sort of ethic. That if he's down, I'm going to pick him up. If I'm down, he's going to pick me up. Do you know what I mean? In our kind of community, London's really come together in terms of music, right? Before, everyone was sort of doing their own thing. Yeah. Even in East London, you got, and North London, like, you know what I mean? Like Artist, Skepta, Chip, Avellino, all them kind of people there.
It's a massive part, because it's like with running or doing any training, I find that when you can hear your own breathing and you can feel the pain, it's a lot harder to get through them when you've got music keeping you going. And at times when it gets hard, sometimes the right song can change and helps you to push. You'll be running, you're on your last mile, and then the song changes, and before the song changed, you thought you were done. You hear that song, it gives you an extra little push.
Lawrence's life is boxing, so a lot of it is spent in a boxing gym or training. So it's like going there and checking him there, or even training with him, is always ideal. And then on the rest days, you know what I mean, chill and do what he wants to do, chill and do what we want to do. It's Lawrence's time to shine, and we're 100% behind him.
It's time to start stepping up. I was meant to box for a title this fight, but you know, it just didn't really work out with my potential opponent.
Defeated the Source, Lawrence Okolie.
That was good, tough rounds against an awkward opponent. I'm happy that at least got a knockdown and showed some of the cruiserweights that are in here how to punch a bit.
So I'll box for some sort of title hopefully in my next fight, and then get on the ladder and begin, because I'm training so hard to fight supposed journeyman. So I really want to get in there with some, you know, good level prospects and see what happens.